You know those glossy Malaysia tourism ads showing Petronas Towers and pristine beaches? They're hiding something massive. There's an entire side of this country that tourism boards deliberately keep off their brochures, and once you see it, you'll understand why Malaysia punches way above its weight in Southeast Asia. This isn't about hidden beaches or secret islands. This is about the Malaysia that actually exists when the cameras stop rolling. Let me show you what happens when you peel back the postcard image. Malaysia has this fascinating split personality that nobody talks about. On one side, you've got the gleaming capital that rivals Singapore. On the other, you've got Cameron Highlands where time seemingly stopped in the 1950s. But here's what gets interesting. Between these two extremes exists a version of Malaysia that's creating millionaires, destroying traditions, and reshaping what Southeast Asia actually looks like. And the tourism industry? They'd prefer you never notice. Start with the property market because it reveals everything. In Kuala Lumpur's Golden Triangle, a decent two-bedroom condo will run you around 800,000 to 1.2 million ringgit. That's roughly 170,000 to 255,000 US dollars. Expensive for Malaysia, sure, but here's the thing. Drive 90 minutes north to Ipoh, and that same money gets you a three-story house with a garden. Same country, same language, completely different economic reality. Now, tourism boards love showing you Kuala Lumpur because it photographs well. Those twin towers at sunset, the colonial buildings, the night markets. But Ipoh? Ipoh tells you the real story of Malaysian economics, and that story is complicated. The food scene exposes this even further. Everyone raves about Malaysian food, and they should. It's incredible. But there's this massive price gap nobody mentions. A plate of char kuey teow in Georgetown, Penang, the tourist favorite spot, cost about 12 to 15 ringgit now. Head to a hawker center in Butterworth, literally across the bridge. Same dish, same quality, often better, 6 to 8 ringgit. Half the price. Same island area. The difference? One location appears in Instagram travel guides, the other doesn't. And this pattern repeats everywhere. Nasi lemak in Bangsar, trendy Kuala Lumpur neighborhood, 10 ringgit minimum. Nasi lemak in Cheras, a local area 20 minutes away, 4 ringgit. Identical food, different audiences. What makes this fascinating is that Malaysia has created these parallel economies within the same cities. You can live in Kuala Lumpur spending 5,000 ringgit monthly living like a budget traveler, or you can spend 15,000 ringgit monthly living like you're in Singapore. Both lifestyles exist simultaneously, often within walking distance of each other. Tourism promotion focuses entirely on the premium version because it generates more revenue, but regular Malaysians navigate the budget version daily, and it's equally developed, equally safe, equally functional. The transportation system perfectly illustrates this divide. The MRT in Kuala Lumpur looks like it belongs in Tokyo. Clean, efficient, air-conditioned, digital displays in multiple languages. A trip from one end of the line to the other costs maybe 6 ringgit maximum. Meanwhile, the old commuter rail system, which still functions perfectly well, covers longer distances for 3 ringgit. Tourists pack into grab cars paying 20 to 30 ringgit for the same journey because nobody tells them about the commuter rail. Why? Because modern MRT stations photograph better. They look developed. They look first world. The commuter rail looks exactly like what it is. A workhorse system moving millions of people affordably. Not Instagram-worthy, but incredibly effective. Here's where it gets really interesting. Malaysia's healthcare system operates on this same dual track, except way more extreme. You can go to a government clinic, see a doctor, get medication, pay 1 ringgit total. 1 ringgit. That's about 20 cents US. Or you can go to a private hospital like Prince Court or Gleneagles, get treatment that rivals anything in America or Europe, and pay prices that would make Americans weep with joy. A full health screening with MRI, blood work, consultations, around 1,500 ringgit at a top private hospital. The same package in the US? Easily $5,000 to $10,000. Both systems exist. Both work. One serves locals primarily. The other attracts medical tourists from Indonesia, Singapore, even the Middle East. Tourism boards promote the medical tourism angle heavily, but they don't mention that regular Malaysians can access quality care for almost nothing. This extends to education in ways that are mind-blowing. Public universities in Malaysia charge Malaysian citizens around 3,000 to 6,000 ringgit per year for undergraduate degrees. Per year. International students at private universities pay 30,000 to 80,000 ringgit annually for similar programs. Same country, same education quality often. Completely different price structures. And here's the kicker. Some of these public universities rank globally. University Malaya consistently appears in World Top 100 lists. But tourism campaigns don't highlight affordable world-class education for locals because that's not the profitable narrative. They want you to know about expensive international schools and private colleges because that's where foreign money flows in. The housing policies reveal even deeper contradictions. Malaysia has this system called Bumiputra housing quotas, where developers must allocate a percentage of new properties at discounted rates for ethnic Malays. A condo unit that sells to non-Bumiputra buyers for 600,000 ringgit might be available to Bumiputra buyers for 450,000 ringgit. Same building, same facilities. Different prices based on ethnicity. Now, tourism materials never mention this because it's politically sensitive and complicated to explain. But it fundamentally shapes Malaysian real estate, urban development, and wealth distribution. You can't understand Malaysian cities without understanding these policies, yet they're invisible in tourist narratives. Look at internet infrastructure. Malaysia has fiber optic internet reaching even small towns. You can get 500 Mbps per second home internet for around 150 ringgit monthly in most urban areas. That's about $30 US for speeds that rival anywhere in the world. Rural areas have 4G coverage that actually works, yet the digital nomad marketing focuses on Kuala Lumpur co-working spaces charging 800 ringgit monthly for hot desks, when you could rent an entire serviced apartment with better internet for 1,500 ringgit monthly. The premium option gets promoted, the practical option gets ignored. Food delivery economics show this pattern perfectly. A meal from a nice restaurant through Grab Food or Food Panda in Kuala Lumpur might cost 40 to 50 ringgit with delivery fees and service charges. Walk to a nearby mamak stall, same meal quality, 15 ringgit. The apps are convenient, sure, but they've created this layer of premium pricing on top of already affordable food. Tourists arriving in Malaysia now think eating out costs 40 ringgit per meal because apps and trendy restaurants dominate online reviews. Meanwhile, locals know that 20 ringgit can get you stuffed at hundreds of excellent spots that don't bother with delivery apps or English menus. Coffee culture exemplifies the divide beautifully. Trendy cafes in Bangsar or TTDI charge 18 to 22 ringgit for specialty lattes. These places look like they belong in Melbourne or Portland. Exposed brick, latte art, oat milk options, the whole aesthetic. Meanwhile, traditional kopitiams serve kopi for 3 ringgit. It's strong, it's sweet. It's been fueling Malaysians for generations. Both coffee cultures thrive. Both have loyal followings. Tourism Instagram accounts show you the specialty cafes because they're photogenic. They don't show you the kopitiam where an old uncle has been making the same perfect kopi for 40 years because it doesn't fit the modern Malaysian narrative. Nightlife pricing reveals similar splits. Rooftop bars at places like Heli Lounge charge 30 to 40 ringgit for cocktails, with spectacular views of the city skyline. Go to a local bar in Sri Petaling. 12 ringgit gets you a decent drink and equally good company, just without the view or Instagram backdrop. The experience of hanging out with friends, listening to music, unwinding after work, identical. The price? Triple the difference. Tourism promotion pushes the rooftop experience because high-spending visitors boost numbers. The neighborhood bar where actual cultural exchange happens, not marketed at all. The gym and fitness scene follows the same pattern. Premium gyms like Fitness First or Celebrity Fitness charge 200 to 300 ringgit monthly. They're nice, well-equipped, air-conditioned. But government sports complexes charge 50 ringgit monthly, sometimes less, with pools, courts, weights, classes. Outdoor exercise parks scattered throughout Malaysian cities are completely free, well-maintained, and actually used by locals daily. You'd never know from tourism materials that Malaysia has excellent free fitness infrastructure because that doesn't generate revenue. Shopping presents the most dramatic contrasts. Pavilion KL, Surya KLCC, The Gardens, these malls sell international brands at international prices. A Nike shirt costs the same as it would in New York or London. Walk 15 minutes to Kananga Wholesale City or Jalan Masjid, India, and you're in a completely different retail universe. Quality clothes at a fraction of the price. Same city, same day, different Malaysia. Tourism guides send people to the luxury malls because they're climate-controlled, English-friendly, and commission-generating. The wholesale markets where locals actually shop? Too chaotic, too local, too real. The entertainment and recreation costs show this beautifully. Theme parks like Sunway Lagoon charge around 180 ringgit for entry. It's a proper theme park with international standard rides and attractions. But public parks like KLCC Park, Titiwangsa Lake Gardens, or Perdana Botanical Garden? Free entry, beautifully maintained, genuinely relaxing. Malaysians use these parks constantly for exercise, picnics, family time. Tourists hit the theme parks because that's what gets advertised. The free alternatives that locals love? Barely mentioned. Banking and financial services operate on similar dual tracks. International banks like HSBC and Citibank offer premium services with minimum balances around 20,000 ringgit to avoid fees. Local banks like Maybank or CIMB have basic accounts with zero minimum balance and no fees. Both provide modern banking, apps, online services. One targets higher income demographics and expats. The other serves regular Malaysians. Guess which one appears in expat guides and relocation services? Mobile phone plans show the price consciousness of the local market versus tourist market perfectly. Tourists often buy expensive prepaid tourist SIM cards at airports for 80 to 100 ringgit with limited data. Locals use providers like Celcom, Digi, or Maxis, with plans offering unlimited data for 35 to 50 ringgit monthly. Same networks, same coverage. Completely different pricing because tourists don't know better and pay the convenience premium. Public facilities reveal a lot about what gets promoted versus what exists. Malaysia has excellent public libraries with free Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and English language books. Community centers offer subsidized classes in everything from language to computer skills. Public swimming pools cost 5 ringgit entry. None of this appears in tourism materials because free or cheap public amenities don't generate tourism revenue. The narrative focuses on experiences you pay premium prices for, not the extensive public infrastructure that makes Malaysia livable and affordable for its own citizens. The wet market system represents probably the biggest invisible aspect of Malaysian life. Every neighborhood has one. Fresh produce, meat, seafood, all cheaper and fresher than supermarkets. A week's worth of vegetables for a family might cost 20 ringgit. Same vegetables at a premium supermarket like Jaya Grocer or Village Grocer in trendy neighborhoods? 40 to 50 ringgit easy. Tourism content shows you brunch spots and organic markets. It doesn't show you the 6 a.m. wet market hustle where the real food economy happens. Parking costs even show the divide. Mall parking in premium areas charges 3 to 6 ringgit per hour. Park at government buildings or certain public lots, often free or 1 ringgit for the whole day. Know the difference, save hundreds of ringgit monthly. Don't know the difference? Assume parking everywhere costs mall prices. Tourism materials don't cover practical local knowledge like this because it's not glamorous. The co-working space boom shows how markets segment. Premium spaces in KL Central or Bangsar charge 800 to 1200 ringgit monthly. Meanwhile, public libraries offer free workspace with excellent Wi-Fi and air conditioning. Some newer libraries even have dedicated co-working zones. Both options exist. One gets marketed to digital nomads and remote workers. The other serves locals who need the same workspace without the branding. Clothing costs demonstrate local versus tourist economies clearly. Brands like Uniqlo or H&M charge global prices in Malaysian malls. But local brands like Padini, Brands Outlet, or Foss offer similar quality basics for half the price or less. A plain t-shirt at Uniqlo might be 40 ringgit. Same quality shirt at Foss, 15 ringgit. Tourists stick to familiar international brands. Locals know the affordable alternatives. The real estate rental market hides huge variations. A studio in Mont Kiara, the expat neighborhood, rents for 2,500 to 3,500 ringgit monthly. A studio in Kapong or Sentul, local neighborhoods with excellent public transport, 900 to 1,400 ringgit monthly. Similar quality, similar amenities, just different target demographics. Rental listings in English online skew heavily toward expat areas with expat pricing. The affordable local rentals circulate through different channels, often in Malay or Chinese. Here's what this all builds toward. Malaysia has essentially created two parallel countries occupying the same geographic space. One Malaysia is marketed, photographed, promoted, packaged for external consumption. It's expensive, Instagram-ready, English language friendly, and designed to extract maximum spending from visitors and wealthy residents. The other Malaysia is lived, practical, affordable, and navigated daily by millions of people who know the systems, speak the languages, and understand which parallel economy serves their needs. Tourism boards don't promote the second Malaysia because it's harder to monetize. You can't charge premium prices for hawker center food or government clinic healthcare. You can't build luxury hotels around wet markets and kopitiam culture. The profitable version of Malaysia requires visitors to believe everything costs international prices, when the reality is that Malaysia remains remarkably affordable if you know where to look and how locals actually live. This creates interesting effects. Expats often live in Malaysia for years paying tourist prices because they never break into the local economy network. They rent in Mont Kiara, shop at Jaya Grocer, eat at restaurants with English menus, use Grab for everything, and wonder why their Malaysian experience costs almost as much as living in Australia. Meanwhile, their neighbors who bothered learning some Malay or Chinese, who asked local colleagues for recommendations, who ventured beyond the expat bubble, live comfortably on half the budget with arguably richer cultural experiences. What makes this fascinating isn't just the price differences, it's that both economies function excellently. Malaysia hasn't failed to develop. It's developed multiple tracks simultaneously. You can live here like you're in Singapore, paying similar prices for similar lifestyles. Or you can live here like you're in Malaysia, accessing incredible value that's genuinely unmatched in the region. The choice exists. The tourism narrative just pretends only one option is available. So why don't they promote this side of Malaysia? Because complexity doesn't sell. Because affordable excellence doesn't generate the same tourism revenue as luxury positioning. Because showing visitors that amazing experiences cost a fraction of what they expect might reduce spending. Because the dual economy, the ethnic housing policies, the parallel systems might require explanations that don't fit on a postcard. But understanding this hidden Malaysia transforms how you see the country. It's not just a cheaper Thailand or a wannabe Singapore. It's a sophisticated economy that has figured out how to serve completely different markets simultaneously. The Malaysians navigating this daily have developed incredible consumer literacy, knowing exactly which system to tap for which need. That's the Malaysia worth understanding. Not the one in the tourism brochure, but the one that actually exists when you know where to look.